If you have a child who is interested in graphic design, art, or maybe it's just looking to build their skills for future careers, then I want to tell you guys about Graphic Design 101 from Film School for Teens. Today, we are going to break down this curriculum and I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know so that you can be set up to helping your teen succeed when it comes to graphic design, regardless of your skill level. The company that makes this curriculum is called Film School for Teens, and they offer a lot of different classes and courses for your middle school and high school students to be able to learn from industry experts on how to do very important skills. My oldest son has done their YouTube for Kids course. My daughter has done their Photography for Teens course. And of course, now my other son is doing Graphic Design 101. This has been an incredibly helpful tool to help him to be able to succeed in something that is actually going to be something he is hoping to focus on for a career. So what do you need to complete this program? Well, the first thing you need is obviously the graphic design course from Film School for Teens. This includes all of your video instructions, and it includes having a physical book that they'll mail to you with their student workbook. This has all of their activities and assignments inside. It's a very crucial piece to the curriculum. And then you are going to need internet connection and ability using a device like a tablet or a computer, because your child is going to be doing a lot of practice on a computer and looking up and researching different things. You also are going to want access to some kind of design element program. You can use Canva, which is a totally free option, or if you already have access to something like Adobe Design or whatnot, you could use that as well. So who is this for? This curriculum is designed for middle school and high school students. My son decided to wait until he was in 8th grade to take this course because our state allows us to count some of the credits he does in 8th grade for high school. So he was able to get that high school credit. If your state does not offer that or has limitations to that, I would recommend going ahead and waiting till high school, just because then they get that credit for it. If it's something you're just wanting to do for fun, or they're just really passionate, interested about it, then you could definitely start in middle school. As the course title recommends, it is a 101 course, so it does start out with basics. That being said, my son that did this course is very good at art and has had a lot of study in this area, not specifically in the graphic design department, and he learned a ton from it. So even if they have a lot of art skills but haven't studied graphic design specifically, this is still a great course. How long does this course take? Well, if you follow the recommended schedule at the front of the book, it is broken up into 12 sections, or about 12 weeks. It can be done in a semester, and it covers about 60 hours of work between the video lessons, the workbook, and then the assignments that your child will complete. This is something that counts as a half credit for high school. And obviously, if you wanted to, and you're working with a younger child, if you wanted to, you could spread it out a little bit more and do it over an entire year if that is your choice. What are the topics that are going to be covered in the Graphic Design 101? Well, it's going to cover the basics of graphic design, common application programs that you may use. I thought this was a really important topic, but file management, how to deal with all the digital clutter that can become from having a lot of design elements. This was one that I actually went back and watched the videos myself because I could use a little work in. It goes through the elements and principle of design. It goes through color theory and the design process. It covers how to use a grid to help your graphic design elements, the importance of understanding typography, and how different fonts impact different designs. It covers the very important critical topic of branding and how to make your branding uniform and to brand effectively, and how to make a campaign. Your child will have individual projects that they're working on throughout the entire year, and then at the end of the semester, they are going to make their own campaign, and it walks them through that process. So how is it structured? What does a lesson actually look like? Well, it is self-paced, so your child is able to go as fast or as slow as they want. They do encourage you at the beginning to slow down and to do the projects to the best of your ability. Could you complete this faster? Absolutely, but you wouldn't get as much out of it. Taking the time to work hard, do a good job, and then get feedback and critique and correct it is actually going to produce the best product and the best understanding of the material at hand. Your child will sit down and watch a video-based lesson. This is done by a professional graphic designer. I love the fact that they are so intentional about having someone from the industry actually teaching the kids about these concepts, as I think that's an invaluable resource. So they will watch this video that instructs instructs them on whatever the topic is for that particular week. And as they are watching that video, they will follow along in the workbook and have a specific page that they are filling in notes for. I like the fact that for my kids who maybe get distracted a little more easily, they bold and put what are the words that they need to fill in the blanks for on the actual screen, so it's easy for them to follow along. But this just sort of ensures that they have an understanding. After the video, your child will have an assignment that they need to work on. This could take a couple of minutes, couple of hours, or a couple of days, again, depending on your child's pace and how much effort and energy they're putting into it. So the assignment on day one, as they were talking about some of the basics of graphic design and the elements there, is they were encouraged to go and to do some research and to find different ads that really spoke to them, right? Some things that stood out to them that made them kind of stop. So for us, we didn't have a lot of papers or newspapers or things to actually look through. So we went online and looked through several different ads together. I do recommend, especially when it comes to looking at ads, especially for younger kids, to be able to do that with your child alongside them. But he did all of the work. I was just there for supervision. And he went through and found several different ads, printed them out on our printer, and pasted them into the book. Then he was supposed to describe why did he choose this ad, what about it was so persuasive, and explain to you what stood out the most. This simple exercise that sounds so basic was actually incredibly impactful for my son. He had never taken the moment to stop and to look at the different graphic design elements that he runs into every single day with ads and to understand what are the emotions that I am experiencing looking at this ad, or why am I drawn to this one and not that one. Taking this time to really dissect this impacted him greatly and has actually carried on, and now he looks at ads all the time and is constantly trying to kind of dissect the meaning behind it or why he is drawn to it. At the end of every assignment, there is a place for you as the parent to initial to show that you've inspected that work, and then they're not supposed to go to the next lesson until you have checked in. So I love the fact that it has built-in checks and balances. So after your child has watched the video, taken notes, and taken the time to do those real world applications of doing those assignments, then they would watch another video that is the student workshop. This is where the creators of the curriculum are sitting down with real life students who are also doing the same assignments as your child. Then each of these kids are going to show off what they did and walk through the process of how they did it. So what I loved about this is it gives you a little bit of that classroom camaraderie. You get to learn by how different students did the same application different ways, and they were able to see, okay, did I follow this on right? Did I do well? All right, here, I learned something a little bit new because this person approached it from a slightly different way. So my child really enjoyed doing that. And then at the end of each unit is a short quiz just to test and make sure that they understand before going to the next level. Well, the way he explained it to me is that he would watch the video on day one. On the second day, he would rewatch the video and fill in those notes, because for him with ADHD, it's just easier to hit the material twice and to be able to absorb it better. On the third day, he would work on the assignments on the third and fourth day. And on the fifth day, he would watch that student workshop and then do the quiz. So obviously self-paced, again, you can do it however works best for your child, but that's how my son found it to be most helpful. So overall, what did he think of the curriculum? He loved it. He said that it really helped him to understand graphic design so much better and be able to practically apply it. He has taken many courses, checked out many books from the library, done many different things, and found them to kind of lack that practical application aspect or to be too basic. And he really found this to not be any of those things. He was really elevated, and he appreciated the fact that he was able to practically apply at his particular level. The idea is to grow in the skill that you are learning. He would highly recommend it. He said 10 out of 10. And I really hope that they will make another graphic design course for the future, because I know he would love to dive more into this topic. If you want to learn more about their YouTube for Kids course, be sure to check out this video here. And if you want to see other things that my son is doing next year for school, be sure to check out this video here.